Well, I'll tell you what, this ground doesn't look too bad, does it? All the way out of the way, northeastern area of France. Not exactly close to Paris, but it's got its little charm, hasn't it? Welcome everybody to the new chapter of Unemployed to Legend. Welcome to RC Lons. Hello and welcome back to Unemployed to Legend Club 3 episode 1 with RC Lons of France. My name is Craig and yes, it is a brand new chapter in the Unemployed to Legend series. As a result, if I could just ask that you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button. I know it seems a bit early and a bit cheeky to ask at this stage, but it's a brand new chapter, so if you are just joining the series for the first time, what a place to drop right in as we get set to take on a brand new league in the series. For those of you who are joining for the first time, I will show you that we've had a few jobs before we've come to Lons. We started out at Swansea University in the lower leagues of Wales. We got promoted and won the Welsh Premier League as well the next season afterwards, and we left them top of the league before moving on to Dundee United in Scotland in the Cinch Premiership. Took them from 9th in the Premiership, finishing 7th, 3rd and 2nd before leaving them officially in 3rd place before now moving on to RC Lons at the end of the last episodes, and also giving Dundee United consecutive runs in the Europa League as well as Champions League qualifying rounds. So now we have found ourselves landing at RC Lons after they approached us and offered us the job. And I showed this at the very end of the last episode actually, but I know not a lot of people hang around for the end of episodes, so this is my profile and just how everything has been looking since I've been doing the coaching courses. We're now Continental A and 3.5 star reputation, so certainly some bigger clubs, not the biggest but some of the bigger leagues, will now start to have a look at me as a manager. And I've already maxed out the level of discipline and I'm massively improving my mental, such as determination, player knowledge and the motivation and people management, which is awesome. Also my coaching attributes as well, the likes of attacking, defending, especially the mental game, which is going to be important for handling these high reputation players than we were used to at Dundee United. But I have now signed the contract for £9,250 a week at Lons until 2030, so we have 2.5 years. But of course, are we going to last those 2.5 years? And I say that because we have taken over a Lons side who are currently second bottom in Ligue 1. 9 points from 11 matches. They've lost 6 out of those 11. And they seem to just be shipping goals just for fun. In fact, they've conceded the 4th most goals in the league. Only Toulouse, Metz and Angers are behind us in terms of goals conceded. As far as goals scored goes, yeah, we're the worst in the league, joint worst with Montpellier and Toulouse. So it's not looking particularly healthy in the in the Ligue 1 at the moment, not Premiership, Ligue 1. And of course, we have to try and get ourselves out of a relegation scrap. If we manage to do that, then we can look at getting into the top half of the league and into Europe, and then seeing how close can we get to Paris Saint-Germain, PSG, who of course are running right at the top of the league. It's just like real life, isn't it? So looking at the schedule, haven't looked at this actually yet. They've just been awful. They've won 1 game in the last 9. In fact, they've only won twice all season in the league. They are just purely playing league games at the moment. They're not in the French Cup until the 9th round. Oh god, how many? 6th rounds. How many rounds? There's 10, 11. There's effectively, including the final, there's 14 rounds. That's horrendous. That's not until November anyway. So we won't be seeing the French Cup for a good while. In fact, our first league game will be against Toulouse. Are Toulouse literally just above us in the league? They are literally 15th, just outside the bottom 3. So that's going to be a very important first game. But that will be I don't know if that will be this episode. No, that won't be this episode. That will be on Wednesday's episode. This episode, I should mention, is going through the squad and the scouting network, and also seeing about the finances and any good youth players who we could maybe bring up into the squad if needed. Because, of course, I haven't actually looked at the youth squad just yet. So we've already gone through at the end of the last episodes all the news items that they have hired me, have RC Lons. The supporters, the supporter profile. Now, something that did actually horrify me a little bit. The supporters' influence on the board is high. That's the first time I've come across that in FM23. It's always been medium or low, but high. Oof, it's going to be pretty tough. If we don't have a good start, they're going to be on my back very, very quickly. 11% are hardcore, 35% are core. That's almost half the fan base right there. We're going to have to hit the ground running very, very quickly. Looking at the squads, let's just have a quick look. It's looking fairly well balanced. How many have we got in the squad currently? 24 players. That's a bit manageable. That's not too bad. It's not understaffed in terms of players. The youngest player in the squad is only 22. Where's all their young players? Good grief, we have quite a few old players. We've got about 6 who are in their 30s. This is Dundee United, basically, when I took them over. I can see why the board wanted me in. They probably saw what I did at Dundee United. We went in and had a bunch of late 20s, early 30 players, year-old players, and we just had to try and shift as many out as possible. I didn't get as many younger players as possible, as much as I wanted anyway, at Dundee United. I aim to make up for that here, provided we have the funds and we've got the scouting network. We will look at that in a moment. But according to this squad list, Facundo Medina, I've heard of this guy. He is their best player. 28-year-old Argentinian centre-back. He's just over 6 feet tall. I thought he was taller than that. He's an international for Argentina as well. Did he win the World Cup with them? Oh no, his first international cap was in 2020. He might not have been. Was he part of the squads? I don't think he was. I don't think he was part of the World Cup squads, or certainly not in-game anyway, which is a bit of a shame. It would have been nice to have had a World Cup winner here. Sebastian Vegas is a 30-year-old left-back, the second best player at the club. Not very good at crossing, is he? But he is solid at defending. Looks like he's a very defensive left-back, which is probably what I need. Probably all he's going to be as well. 30-year-old Chilean international. He's been here for a couple of seasons. Came here on a free and he's been a regular ever since. In fact, Facundo Medina, didn't look at his history. Oh, he's been here since 2020. Right, they bought him for £4 million. He's shown up finally this season. He's a good player for this level. Not much more than that. We can command quite a good fee for him. Sorry, he's on 54,000 a week. I didn't think the wages are that much. Right, let me have a look at the 54,000. Who's this guy on 73,000 a week? Ismail Benhamou, 30-year-old Moroccan international. 3-star current ability, obviously nothing more in potential. He's 31 years old. He's a decent player for this level. He hasn't got much of a history. Although this might be when I actually loaded the French leagues into the game. That probably makes sense. I mean, as a winger, he's pretty decent, but I think that actually just describes him. Decent. And this guy's on 73,000 a week. Wow. He's stealing a living. We'll see if he's any good, but if not, we're going to be shifting him out of the club very, very quickly. We're, 2 months away from the transfer window in January, so not too bad. Kevin Danso as well, 29-year-old Austrian international. There's a lot of older players on big, big wages. He's a powerful centre-back, though. He will probably be very useful. 4.3 million from Augsburg in Germany. He's shown up this season as well. He's shown up decently. He's been a regular anyway for Lons over the past few seasons. But by the looks of it, from the best players, I don't know, 4-3-3. Certainly 4 at the back. And then you got a midfielder, Junior Onana, 27-year-old Cameroonian international. He looks mentally and physically very good. He's been at Lens for a while as well. There's a lot of players here who've been here for at least a few seasons. Steven Vega, defensive midfielder, mentally very good, 29-year-old Colombian international. Came in on a free like 2 years ago. Yeah, there's been players here who've been here for several seasons. Have they just not invested in the squad or something? By the looks of it though, he's actually an attacking midfielder. Amin Adli. Actually, he's a name I've heard of. Yeah, formerly of Leverkusen. That's where I've heard of him from. 7 point. They paid over the odds for him. £7.25 million. Goodness me, not worth much more than that. He's 27-year-old, 3.5-star capability player. No youth caps, no international caps. Is he worth that? Well, I suppose we'll have to find out. Yeah, I'm favouring kind of a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 with this squad, to be honest. Let's just see if we can put one forward. Vertical tiki-taka, that's absolutely fine. That's what I wanted to play with Dundee United. 4-3-3, yeah. Makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. Fluid counter-attack. I feel we are going to need that if we're facing someone like a PSG or a Monaco. I'll finish obviously setting up all the tactics properly going forward after this episode, but certainly I feel 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 is the best option for this squad just by the looks of it. Let's have a quick look then. So Pavlenka in goal, left back would be Vegas with Medina and Danso by the looks of it. Yeah, it'll be Danso at centre back with Saka or Sasha Bowie at right back. Again, physically decent. I think these players, realistically, leading Ligue 2. Oh, wow. He's not even this league. Oh. Yeah, he just hasn't. He's only played once in this league. And he's their best right back. Hold up. He's their best right back. What about João Ferreira? I feel like this guy's been the best player. He's been playing there more often in Ligue 1. That's fine. Yeah, he's a Ligue 1 player. Okay. A Ligue 1 player, not Ligue 1. Right back is clearly a weakness that we're going to need to sort out in January. I will be making a note of this. I've got my little notebook just over here. Defensive midfields. So Steven Vega apparently is the best one there. He's also actually no, he's a central midfielder apparently. So we'll slot him in there. Junior Onana can go at defensive midfield. Wow. This is amazing. How many? Yeah, okay. So we've got a bit of a weakness. We've got a weakness in terms of personnel in midfield. We might not be able to do 3 for now. At least for now anyway, we've got players. But if we pick up 1 or 2 injuries, we've got problems there. The wings, Jolson Fernandez. Just clicked on him by accident. That's fine. He's a Ligue 1 player. That's a relief. Oh god, yeah, he's clearly going to be one of their more flair, more creative players on the wings. He's got the flair, he's got the dribbling, the crossing, the agility. Oh yes, 2 goals in 11 seems criminal for this man. He may not be great at finishing, but he's someone who's going to get chances in the box. He's got the physicality, he's got the mentals, he's definitely got the technicals. Yeah, I want to see this man get into the box as much as possible. Amin Adli, we've already had a look at him. Who is the man now up front? Who's our Johnny Kenny? Federico Girotti. Now, that's a name I did pick out in the last episode. I mean, he's strong. Good God, this is a target forward if ever I've seen one. We're not using target forward. What am I saying? I'm not going to be an English meathead. I mean, that's just a bit too much. How many goals has he scored for Lens? He's literally just joined and he's scored 2 in 11. Oof, he's a good player, unlikely to improve. Consistent performer, enjoys big matches. He's got very good strength, clearly. He's got good stamina, high work rate. I'm feeling advanced forward. Doesn't make use of his strength. Pressing forward does. I'm feeling he's a pressing forward then. If we did play 2 up top, he'd be the target forward, but we're not doing that. Come on, we can't be doing that. Not in France. Certainly not at the start anyway. Right, if we do a positive there. Obviously a lot of work to do on the familiarity. That's fine. We're just getting these tactics set up. It's not a bad squad, but there's clearly areas that we need to improve if we're going to do this sort of formation. Right back, it sticks out like a sore thumb. Really, really does. I'm going to need to sort that out for January. Midfield, we need more personnel there, I feel. In fact, how many players do we have left for midfield? I mean, Adley's a winger. Soto Benhamu, who's on 73,000. We're going to have to use him at some point. Kevin Danso, apparently, but he's a centre-back. Absolutely no chance. Yeah, we need more players for central midfield. So right back and central midfield. How are we looking for goalkeeper? Not great. Not great. We're going to need goalkeeper as well. That's 3 positions and quite possibly... Good God, yeah. We've got a load of strikers at the club, but they're not exactly of good-looking quality. One of them's listed. In fact, 2 of them are listed. Let's see if I can get rid of them then, in that case. So if that's the formation that we're going to go with. What about the youth setup? Oh, 5-star potential player, and he is 21 years old. Fod Silla. Or Chilla. Silla. No, it's Silla. Not Chilla. It's Silla. He's worth a little bit of money. He's only on 2.6k a week. That seems pittance compared to some of the players here. What league is he? He's a Ligue d'Or player, but with 5-star potential. Has he had any games? What? He's played for... They played him in League On a few years ago. He's had about 15 games at this level. Where does he play? Central midfield. I might play him a couple of times to see if he's any good. If he is, we'll keep him around in the squad. But if he isn't, he might be a player we shove out on loan. So we're going to move him up to the main squad. Is there anybody else who we might be able to bring in? Oh, we've got a second team. Oh, that's the B team. What league are they even in? They're in the National 2, which I think is like non-league. We've got the 16-year-old 5-star potential player, Milos Zichlo. Yes, Zichlo. Polish 16-year-old striker / right winger. Oh, he's got good finishing. But obviously, I don't think he's going to be anywhere. Oh, he's Ligue d'Or already. He's already Ligue d'Or standards. At 16 years old, we might have to give him a loan at some point. We'll see how he does this season and just give him a loan probably to see how he does. But for now, I do want to get him to be trained at club, which actually he already is. He's already trained at club, which is absolutely fine. So we might just see how he does next season with a Ligue d'Or club, as long as we're not down there. I mean, they might be, but I won't be because the club will sack me long before we get to that point. The under-19s, you got Adam Nard, 16-year-old French right back with 5-star potential. Look at his mentals already. His teamwork is stupidly high. His work rate as well. Also Ligue d'Or standards. Have I just not loaded Ligue d'Or? Anything below Ligue d'Or? I've not loaded anything below League 1 or League On. I don't think that's going to be anything I can change. Certainly not this season. Okay, Nard, we'll see how he does on loan eventually. Matteo Panin, another 16-year-old striker, promising. He's got great technique. Oh, he's an advanced forward, isn't he? Great dribbling, finishing, first touch. Great technique. Off the ball's very good. His work rate leaves a lot to be desired. But yeah, other than that, not bad, but they're still only 16 years old. So it's just that one guy we've brought up. And he's the youngest player in the first team squad. Fod Silla. He's Ligue d'Or standards, but he's probably the best of a bad bunch as far as the youth setup goes. What about finances though? We know we had about 6 million or just under 6 million in the transfer budget. I identified that in the last episode, so a couple of episodes back. We are over the wage budget though. How much is that? 40,000? Yeah. I'm going to have to... How far over? 705. I'm going to have to do some shifting of that. If we have, say, 3.3 million to spend and we have about 13,000 on the wage budget. And the scouting range is Europe. Thank goodness. In fact, initial season budget 390,000. We can scout the world. I can finally scout the world, finally. Let's go and scout. Let's just get in as many of the young players as possible. That's what we want to do. We need players for now, but also I'm looking towards the future as well. So let's scout the world and see what we can find. So players in range. Any players scouted? Oh, let's get all of this off. Any players scouted? Seriously, 12 players. 12 players are interested in joining us. That might be a bit difficult. The scouting coverage, where can we actually... What? We don't know any? I'm confused. Does that mean we don't know any nations or regions? Of course, I've still got all my old shortlists. That's absolutely fine. But the scouting coverage, this one confuses me. Are you saying we don't know anywhere? Where's all my scouts? Oh, wow. We've got a lot of space, haven't we? 1, 2... I can still bring in another 2 scouts. Yep, apparently another 2 scouts. Although they do know certain countries in the EU and Africa, which is absolutely fine. Because obviously a lot of the old French colonies are in Africa. Oh, someone here knows. Who's this? Khalifa Cisse. He knows England, apparently. Nice. He must have been over there previously. And yeah, of course, Spain, Belgium, which border France. I'm surprised Italy isn't even included in that, or Germany or somewhere. Oh, this guy's quite adaptable, actually. What languages does he speak? Just French. Just French, for goodness sake. Alright then. So, I think it's safe to say that we have identified a couple of 2 or 3 areas. In fact, no, 4 areas of the squad we need to be having a look at, of getting players in. Goalkeeper, right back, central midfield, and up front. Although we'll probably be trying to sort out other areas as well, depending whether we're actually weak. But that we're going to find out in the next episode, because we are going to do the first 2 matches against Toulouse and against Nantes. So 3rd in the league. Why? How? Toulouse are 15th, but Nantes are 3rd. Oh, we're going to see... possibly the best of both worlds, or the worst of both worlds, because we're going up against a team near us in the league and a team who are, I wouldn't even say they're pushing PSG, they're just pushing for Europe. That's it. Everybody, you've got PSG and then everybody else, haven't you? Well, this is going to be a very interesting start to our time here at Lens, and hopefully we hit the ground running before the fans turn against me. What's my adaptability again? Haha. Oof. This affects the individual's chances of finding employment in a foreign league, and then whether or not they're likely to succeed there. We're going to have to try and buck the trend then, aren't we? If you have enjoyed this episode, and if you're looking forward to the new chapter with Lens here in Unemployed 2 Legend, make sure you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button so you don't miss the first games of our spell here in Ligue 1. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all the support that you've given this series so far, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode.